Hello everyone, my name is Serafi and I'm thrilled to have all of you with me. And today we're going to talk about Sett, who is a new constellation in Path of Champions coming tomorrow, Wednesday, June 4th, at about 11 p.m. Pacific time. Or 11 a.m. Pacific time, sorry. So, Sett has 3-star powers already. Knuckle Up and Bet on Sett. Knuckle Up, after you spend 6 mana each round, grant allies +1/+1. If you get it to 3 stars, then it's after you spend 6 mana each round, grant allies +2/+2, and after you spend 12 mana each round, rally. That is an effect that stacks with itself infinitely. So if you spend 24 mana in a turn, then you give all your units +8/+8, and you rally twice. But you do have to actually attack in order to get the benefit of rallying. Cool. Very, very powerful effects. Don't need to change at all. Absolutely. 100%. I love Sett already, so like all these. Bet on Sett is fantastic. Bet on Sett is +1 starting mana, and round start you create a coin in hand. So literally with Sett, all you have to do is wait. You can generate more coins if you want to, but you don't even have to. You can literally just sit back, pick up your coins, turn 5, go off. And the rest of his kit is kind of designed to do that. So we have Out the Gates, which is game start, summon a 2-cost unit from your deck, which is where is it? This thing, Attentive Accountant. 2 mana, 1/2 with Nexus Strike, create a coin in hand, and it has elusive. So that's really good. This is basically the same thing as Caitlyn's 4-star. Caitlyn's 4-star gives you that 1/2 elusive at the start of the game that has Nexus Strike, plant 2 Flash Bomb traps in your opponent's deck. The main difference, of course, is that the Nexus Attendant, or the whatever her name is, has item cards. The item cards are... Let me pull that up real quick, because Sett's already in the game, so we know all of his cards already for sure. Sett. This 2-drop has Studded Leather. So it's a 2-mana 2/3 with Nexus Strike, create a coin in hand. Is that good? It's good enough. You can start collecting coins, twice a turn when you're attacking, which is good. And then you can just rally. Mana Flow, Mana Flow will be very important for Sett, because Sett is a character that cares about the way that you play Sett is with Chemtech Duplicator, and Chemtech Duplicator is a rare relic that says when you play a spell, if you have 6 mana gems, copy it with the same targets. So the Mana Flow will actually get you to 6 gems 1 turn faster every single game, which is really, really good. It's very beneficial to you. And then the Out the Gates, giving you basically double coin generation, allows you to get enough coins fast enough to actually make use of them a turn earlier, which is, these two, the 4-star and the 5-star, have been perfectly synergized to allow Sett to accomplish his existing game plan just a little bit faster without messing up your flow, because you're getting to the mana sooner, which is good. That's very well thought out. I have absolutely no problems with his 4-star and his 5-star. They're exactly what Sett needs to function in a nightmare scenario. Now, his 6-star is what's important. Hired Muscle. When you play a coin with 5 or more stacks, summon Sett. If you already have Sett, create a Showstopper in hand instead. This is huge. So, one of the biggest problems that you have in Path of Champions is that if your deck revolves too much around your main card, then if you don't have your main card, you lose the game. And the problem is that you get a second champion, and you only draw 1 champion at the start of the game, and they make it random. So when they released Evelyn, they gave a relic that said you get Evelyn, at the start of the game. So you could just make sure that you always have Evelyn, because they realize that if you don't draw Evelyn, it's really bad. At the very least with Sett, they're not doing that on the relic. They're doing it on the 6-star. So you do have to invest a little bit in Sett, but this way you can always bet on Sett, which is very important. Why is this important? Well, For Sett, so with Evelyn, it's very obvious why you need Evelyn every game, because Evelyn's 3-star is that every time you level up a champion, you get +2/+2 to everything, and that only benefits you in any meaningful way if you can do it more than once. And Evelyn's ability to shift between levels is based on how early in the game she shifts. Once you have had 6 units die, she cannot shift back at all. So you have to actually shift her, turn 3, turn 4, which is, that puts a lot of pressure on you to actually draw the card. So, and she doesn't have Hero's Horn for some reason. They really should have, when they redid Evelyn's kit, they really should have put Hero's Horn on one of her cards. But, that's just me. Regardless. Hired Muscle, so this, for Sett, it is, like I told you, the way you play Sett is with Chemtech Duplicator, and basically what you want to do is you want to double up on the number of coins that you get off of Sett's coin to basically get infinite mana. So you can rally as many times as possible. If you don't have Sett, you don't have Chemtech Duplicator. So they had 2 options. They could either basically change Sett's relic into a Chemtech Duplicator that was always active, which would have been abused by everyone in the game. Or they could say, okay, well, Sett can always be here. And I like that they did this. I like that they did it this way, because if they had made like Sett's relic basically just Chemtech Duplicator, but that you don't need the champion, there would be a flood of Reddit comments complaining about how this was pay to win and that you would need this on so many champions, and they've decided very specifically not to do this. And a lot of people complain about that. A lot of people complain that, well, they expect us to pay for these relics that are only good on like a handful of champions. Yeah, it's going to be a lot worse when they make a relic that you have to pay for that's like usable on a lot of people. Like people complain about that, really. Like they already complained about Beast Within and Starforged Gauntlets, and you can get those, you can get at least Starforged or Beast Within from the Emporium by spending, Stardust. You just have to get lucky, and you can only buy one per month. But this is when they actually spend real money on. So it's very good that it's not going to be used on a lot of people. This is an easy and elegant way to make sure that you always have Chemtech Duplicator. Perfectly fine. When you play your coin with the 5 stacks, Sett will come down. Chemtech Duplicator will apply first, so you'll get the double mana, and then you get to start popping off. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what is the showstopper? What is this? If I already have Sett and I get extra mana, what does the showstopper do? Showstopper is a 0 mana slow spell that says obliterate one enemy and deal 1 damage to all other enemies in the enemy nexus. It has this icon that's Sett. This icon of Sett literally diving off of a rail to power dive someone with his elbow. Absolutely fantastic. The animation looks great. So just a really good removal tool, and you will play a coin with 5 mana not only every turn, but probably multiple times in a turn once you have like Sett out and you start cooking. So you can get a lot of showstoppers. It's going to be really bloody, which is fine. I mean, that's what we want. So this kit is excellent. I have no complaints. Change to his starting deck. So his cards are all the same. All of these cards are exactly what they were before, except for one thing. Zephyr Sage, which had studded leather, which I hated, by the way. I hated that Zephyr Sage had studded leather because A, it's a 6-drop, so it doesn't need a weak item, and B, the Attentive Accountant also has studded leather, so that's lazy. So instead of getting studded leather to make it a 6-mana 5/5, they have added Iceborne, which is the skill that says play deal 2 to all enemies and the enemy nexus. So Zephyr Sage, which is a card that you want to play because it creates an exact copy of the coin in your hand and basically doubles the value of your coin. Now it actually feels like it's worth 6 mana because it's a 6 mana 6/6 basically, because it gives +2/+2 to your whole board. It gets you halfway to rallying, and now it can also clear your opponent's board. So that's fantastic. Yeah. Zephyr Sage, significantly better, and that's good because it's a card that I hated to play. Next up we have Sett's Relic, Champion's Purse. +2/+0 and Overwhelm. When I kill an enemy in combat, create 2 coins in hand. Okay, so it's difficult for me to talk about that. I really don't like relics that give Overwhelm because the Beast Within feels so mandatory. The Beast Within giving Overwhelm to literally everything in your deck is so good that it feels weak to put Overwhelm on anything else, because it's like, do you cut Beast Within? Not really. I mean, you could, I suppose, you could say, well, Sett rallies so much that you'll just clear the board eventually, and then you'll be able to attack and actually hit the Nexus. The current version of Sett that I play doesn't have Beast Within, but I don't know what his new build will look like. It is nice that you can, like, the effect is really good. It's +2/+0, Overwhelm, and when I kill an enemy in combat, create 2 coins in hand. Sett is a 4/5, so this will make Sett a 6/5. That means that you can't use this to get Starforged Gauntlets on him, but you can use it to put Sett into a position where he could easily start to deal some damage. And Overwhelm is a very good keyword to pair with Challenger, and Sett has Challenger, because it allows you to get lethal in situations where you otherwise wouldn't, because you can target the weakest unit and force it to fight you and block, so that you can hit the Nexus. When I kill an enemy in combat, create 2 coins in hand. This is mediocre. You do get Sett every game with the Showstopper 6-star, which is really good, but this doesn't help you get to that. It just helps you after you've gotten there. So what would his relics look like? Chemtech, Duplicator, Champion's Purse, and probably Grand General's Counterplan to give you the 4-mana spell that stuns 2 units and gives you 2 coins. I guess if that's the case, you don't necessarily need Beast Within, because you're stunning 2 units. So how much can they really block you? Okay. Yeah, maybe. Then you give Sett Overwhelm so you can force their biggest unit to block Sett, and Sett can't take damage when he fights. And then the rest of your units that get buffed by his 3-star just go in for lethal. I guess I can kind of see it. I don't know that this would necessarily be worth it. It's very good on Jack, though. So Jack is another character that really cares about coins, but unlike Sett, Jack does not have bet on Sett. He doesn't have the ability to get coins for free every round. So Champion's Purse is a very ineffective way to give Jack more coins, because you have to actually have Jack, you have to actually kill an enemy, and you have to kill them in combat, which means that you can't use your you can't use any of your spells to do it. You have to actually be fighting. But 2 extra coins will probably be enough to push Jack into actually playing the game, because right now when I play Jack, I kind of feel like I can't get enough coins to actually play his 2-drop that gives you a 4-drop that gives you a 6-drop. Because that's the idea with Jack, is that you play a 2-drop that adds a 4-drop to your hand, you play the 4-drop, then you play the coin to get 6 mana back, and then you play the 6-drop, which rallies, and then that's 12 mana in 1 turn, which levels Jack up. It's an interesting idea, but because you don't have the ability to generate coins for free, it feels like you never have enough coins, which, fair enough. So this will absolutely help that. Okay, also we know about this. So Sett has a Star of Discovery called Spells You Acquire in Adventures that cost 4 or more have cashback. Cashback is a common ability that says create 2 coins in hand. I hope that they give some of this to Jack. They will probably either, I'm praying that the next expansion has Jack in it, because Jack and Sett are so similar, or I'm praying that they will take the opportunity to just change up some of Jack's items, although they did not put that in the patch notes. But I mean, Jack needs way more help than Sett does. I understand that Sett's like closer to being Nightmare, so it makes sense for Sett to be in this patch. But they did so well with making Sett good that they really should apply some of this to Jack, because Jack needs it way more. Then we also have Star of Wonder coin has stopwatch. So the coin, again, is a 1-mana spell that refills your spell mana based on the number of coins that you have. The only problem with coin that I've ever had is that it's a focus spell. So you can't use this if you're in combat, which means you can't use it to play a spell, like a fast spell, that would help you either fight or survive. It's a very niche upgrade. Going from focus to burst is not super relevant for most situations. But with coin specifically, since it gives you mana, it is very relevant because it just gives you more options in all scenarios if you have burst. So this is it's not like coin is in a starting deck, so it makes sense that it would have to be a star. It feels kind of cheap that they would do this, and it really highlights how held back the game is by trying to walk the PvP and PvE line at the same time. I mentioned this when Fiddlesticks came out. Since we're only in PvE now, it would make more sense if cards were balanced around that. And coin has no reason to be a focus spell in PvE, which is why they're willing to give you an upgrade like this. But this feels like you shouldn't have to spend anything on this. It feels like it shouldn't take up one of Sett's upgrades. It feels like this is just something that should happen. And also, again, Sett is not the only character who plays coins, so this again feels pretty unfair for Jack. But the problem is, since Jack and Sett exist in PvP as well, you can't just make the coin burst speed, because that would completely change the way that the deck is built in PvP. And I don't know how you fix that. It really is kind of a situation where it just feels like the design of the game has to kind of compartmentalize itself on fixing problems that were intentionally used as levers to balance the deck for PvP. Whereas if you get a deck like Fiddlesticks or Ambessa, where the cards are not playable, they just come out only for PvE, the cards can actually be well designed. Like, we wouldn't get a card like, what is his name, Rickus? The 2-mana 2/2 with Barrier and on summon attack, and when I attack, stun the strongest enemy unit. That's just too efficient. It's just too good of a card. And it fits so cleanly into Ambessa's strategy. And they could only make a card that good because they were like, we're not even going to give this to people for PvP. Which is really cool. They should do that for everything else. They should just be like, all right, we're going to scrap everything. You guys can have upgraded versions of all your cards, and you don't need to level them up. And then you get like little level ups for the individual characters. But coin should feel good for everyone to play, not just Sett, is what I'm saying. Anyway, that's my rant. I look forward to this patch. I'm going to play it a lot. My name is Rafi, and I was thrilled to have all of you with me.